Hello, Blessed Star family. So we made it through another Lionsgate portal. How wonderful. I was just speaking to Spirit, and as I was connecting with your higher self and my higher self and all of those who watch out for us, I was thanking the Lionsgate portal energy, and then I thought, I should put this on camera. So we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to the energy of the Lionsgate portal, to Sirius, Orion, and Earth, and the beautiful alignment and celebrations of life and love and abundance and happiness that came through. This was a tough one. We have a lot ahead of us over the next several months, astrologically speaking, but roll with the punches, my friends. Roll with the punches. This is a collective message for everybody. If you haven't already seen, Spirit had me do a reading intro, and then we did 3 separate readings, reading 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure how they're going to have me label them yet. I already recorded the intro reading and the other 3 readings. This is now the bonus reading. And so much came through. Every reading was so different, yet there was a very beautiful thin sliver of silver energy, the crystalline energy that I felt like kind of sewed all the readings together. So if you are so inclined, watch all 3. If not, only watch the ones that you're drawn to. Maybe you're not meant to look at them at all. Maybe you're just meant to be here today. So in front of you we have, this isn't a picker reading, this is a reading for the tribe. I have some extra cards that they want me to pull, but for now they wanted me to flip these cards over and show you what we are working with. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, so as we said for all of these readings, they were all regarding the energy that we're working with right now until the end of the year, what knowledge we gained from the Lionsgate portal, and what we're going to use from that knowledge to propel us forward. The Lionsgate portal opened on July 28th, 2023, and it is closing now as we speak on the 12th of August, 2023. But just like any other transition, we always have the shadow energy. So I feel like the Lionsgate portal energy will still be here until the new moon in Leo. But the portal is now, it will now be shifting. The planets, everything will be shifting out of a different alignment. With that being said, we do have a lot of retrogrades coming up. Mercury is going retrograde on the 23rd, so we are in the shadow of Mercury retrograde right now. Also, we have a lot of eclipses coming up. So we are now in midsummer. And according, to our calendars, fall equinox is still another 6 weeks away. And then we will be going into fall for the Northern Hemisphere, and we will be going into spring for our Southern Hemisphere family. What I'm excited about to see here is that this deck does believe in upright and reverse. I started shuffling these right before I went on camera, and this is how they came out. I didn't even see them. I had no idea these 3 were here. So I find it fascinating that they are in this position. So what's exciting to me is that attachment is in reverse, and so is anxiety. You know what that tells me? That you're no longer attaching yourself to the past or old energies because you got money on your mind. You got money on your mind. That's good. But I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Yeah, right. Like, look at that cat. It totally reminds me of Bubba. My familiar, for those of you who don't know Bubba. But yeah, this is really exciting. So we're starting to understand that we don't want to be tethered to the past, right? I'm going to turn this upright so you can see it. Okay. I'm going to go in here. It's also the number 5, and 5s are about change and transition. But you see what she has here? she's got a mask in her hand and she's holding it away from her face and she's looking at the mask and she's saying, why was I tethered to that mask for so long? Look at how beautiful my face is. Look at how beautiful I am. Why did I feel like I needed to have this mask on to feel beautiful? But she's also tethered. Do you see how she's chained there? And I feel like this, when I say she, I felt like Spirit was saying divine feminine. So attach yourself to the divine feminine and unattach yourself from the divine masculine that no longer serves you. We need the divine masculine and the feminine to survive, right? We need both. It's who we are. What we don't need to do is tether ourselves to an energy or an outcome that no longer serves us. I mean, think about it. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the same stories over and over. And it was my story too at one time, where people would say, oh, this is what I wanted to be when I grew up. But this is what I ended up doing because it made my father happy. It made my partner happy. It made my, boss happy. I remember I started a job maybe a year after high school, and it was just supposed to be a job. However, I was so good at it that I was given a lot of responsibility really quickly. And then I just started growing and growing and growing. And before I knew it, within 3 years, I went from, being a receptionist to having two desks as an assistant working for two executives. And they were actually training me and grooming me to take over as an executive. And I was 21 years old. And my family was like, and even my boss was like, this is unheard of. But I didn't want to do it. I did it for my family. I did it for everyone. But I just started to see the monotony of it. The everyday, the same thing, the Monday through Friday, the liquid lunches, the, going out with the, friends after work. It was just the same shit. It just felt like high school in suits and briefcases and instead of our fucking backpacks. It was just really bizarre to me. And it just didn't feel right. And then finally, I just kind of one day, just so many things happened to me all at once. But I said, that's it. I'm going to live my dream, ma'am. And I did. I moved away from home and I started living my dream. And then when I got there, I started living my dream for somebody else. My dream became somebody else's dream because you know why? I was in anxiety about money. I was always fucking worried about money. While he was doing what he wanted to do, he wasn't too worried about money because he knew I would make money. Because I came from a family and a place where, you work hard. It was shameful to get help or, do it on your own. And in some ways, I'm so grateful. And I know it was in my soul contract. But in other ways, I gained anxiety and had worries that I didn't fucking need. But there I was, the woman holding the coin, always having to be the breadwinner. It was a lot of pressure until I just finally said, fuck it. And I kind of had a nervous breakdown. I didn't work for like 9 months and he had to work and he didn't like that. He wanted to keep doing what he was doing. I was the one making the money. I had the purse, Listen, there are 3 feminine energies before you. It does not matter what you feel, inside, outside. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine. However, right now, the divine masculine, the patriarchal energy, we've been talking about this. If you've been walking with me for a long time, we've been talking about this. Spirit's been telling us this was going to happen. The divine masculine has got to hit rock bottom before it comes back up. With that being said, we need love, 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 love. Look how there's almost like a heart shape of the flowers on here. I've been hearing 2 songs over and over and over in the last few days, and definitely as I started putting this reading together today. And one was the Billie Eilish song from Barbie, What Was I Made For? Please seek it out. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I cry every time I hear it. I mean, her voice is so haunting, but then also I saw the video of it for Barbie and I haven't seen the movie yet, but I was like bawling. I'm like, oh, I'm like, Barbie, right? Because we're all waking up to like it's like, are we real? What's real? What's not real? It's a very confusing time, but don't let it stop you. Live in the magic and miracles. Stay in the divine feminine. Stay in that love, heart-centered space. Whatever reading you were drawn to, all the readings were different. And some of the readings, they were like for multiple people. So just remember, all of these readings, take what you need, leave behind what you don't. That old saying, it's very, very true. But the attachment it's old, it's part of the past, and so is anxiety. And do you notice how in the attachment card, she's looking up? In the anxiety, she's looking down. Also, in the attachment, she's wearing a white dress, but with dark hair. The mask is white. The tether is dark. It's very powerful. Also, by the way, there's all these moths, like, because it's nighttime. I did the other readings during the day, and then I did chores and made dinner and all that. And now the house is really quiet, and I was drawn to do this reading for all of us. But in the anxiety card, she's wearing red. She's surrounded by red, which is passion. Red is the color of passion. White is the color of divinity, of spirit. But she has dark hair, right? Because she's both parts. She's both dark, both light. In the middle card, we've got balance of the light and dark as well, with her familiar, her feline companion, but also the dark in her dress, the red and the passion behind her. But her face is white, porcelain white. She has blonde hair. We don't have to look like these imagery to align with the energy of color. We were all made different for a reason. You have every right to be wealthy. You deserve to be wealthy. Just because we're white lurker. I was going to say white lurkers. That's interesting. I was going to say white lighters and light workers at the same time. White lurkers. Woo! Yes, we're lurking in the shadows, aren't we, right? Why are we lurking in the shadows? Why are we hiding in the shadows? Number 42 is the number 6. So we have 5, 6, and then 18 is the number 9. And 9 is about completion. 5 and 6 is like, keep going, but there's something missing in here. So I'm going to pull this card over here because I feel like we're meant to pull another card and put it in between there. What did you say, Spirit? Oh, yes. Also, like the glowy eyes. Do you see the glowing eyes of the familiar of the cat in there? The magic behind the glowy eyes. Oh, goddess of the moon, and she's in reverse. Oh, this is so exciting because I asked them if we were going to read from the book and they said no. And just now I heard read from the book. Oh, this is kind of exciting because I rarely, and I mean rarely, read from the book. Also, drink some water. Stay hydrated. And when I looked up, it was 12:58, which is also 12:13. And that's not just my birthday. We have 12 months in the year, but we have 13 moons. Okay, so look up the angel number 1213. Okay, so we're going to go to 52 to the goddess of the moon. They really want me to read this in reverse, okay? So the key words for the goddess of the moon card are intuition and going within. Also, it's on 165, and isn't that interesting that the first card is 5, and then the next one is 4 and 2 is 6. And so anyway, just to me, 6 and 5 is 11. It's part of my process to always look at these numbers. Okay, so in reverse, it says, this card reversed reveals blocked intuition, an inner disconnect, or a sense of living in the dark. You have a deep desire to know your purpose and truth, but they can feel very distant. This is a message of dissatisfaction where your inner life is concerned. It's possible that extreme worry, anxiety, and discontent are the obstacles to the inner peace and wisdom you seek. Ooh, and for those of you, I'm telling you, there's readings 1, 2, and 3. I'm not going to tell you which one to go to, but if you haven't watched any of them already, this is a sign to go and seek them out, or at least seek one out. It's possible that extreme worry and discontent are the obstacles to the inner peace and wisdom you seek. If so, you need to let that go and renew your faith in yourself and your eternal spirit. Get out of your own way and release the fear that's blocking the truth of your blessed eternal nature. Your soul, your higher self, knows you best, so allow stillness into your life. Listen to the stirring of your own intuitive voice and trust what you receive. Also, that's on page 167, which, what did I just say? 12 and 13. 67 is 13. Okay, so as I looked down, I saw 1507 and then I saw 1510. So if those call to you, but also the goddess of the moon was one of the piles, one of the readings. So if you were drawn to that, or if that message really resonates with you, okay, let me just tell you something. I have no windows open, and out of nowhere, there is a moth in here. I just saw a moth outside, and now it's in here, and I'm like, how in the hell did it get in here? There is nothing open. I love how they just appear. So clearly, the moth is our spirit animal to work with for the rest of the year. The moth has come through many times. With myself and spirit and some of the readings and work I've been doing on Lula's life as well. So make sure to work with the moth spirit animal. There were other spirit animals in the other readings, but I won't bring them up unless spirit wants me to. And the fact that the cat is in the picture, work with the cat spirit animal as well. The rest of the year is going to be so fun. I have this really, really good feeling, you guys, even with the eclipses and the retrogrades and all these things, just take it in stride, like water off a duck's back. And I never did mind the little things. If you don't know what I'm talking about on Lula's life, I did some great work with the Lionsgate portal, the last 2 or 3 episodes of Lula's life, not the shorts, but the episodes. We spoke about a lot of these things. And for some of you, it's really time for you to get in tune with the moon. If you haven't gotten in tune with the moon, it's time now, okay? There's a reason for it. Also, interesting that I was just talking about the divine feminine and the goddess comes out. We have 4 images or imagery of women, of divine feminine. It is interesting though that in some decks I find that they're a little more versatile, culturally speaking, and in some decks they do kind of stick with like a certain look. So spirit is saying, don't take that, I should say, in any other way that the fact that that's just coming from the eyesight of the artist, okay? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? We have attachment number 5, woman holding a coin, 42, which is also the number 6. Then we have goddess of the moon, 52, which is also the number 7. And then we have 18, right? 1 before 8. So we've got 5, 6, 7, and then 1 before 8. So I like the 1 before 8 because there's something really there with the attachment of the goddess of the moon. Spirit, can you give us a little more? Okay, they told me to put each one with each card, so I'm going to just place it in front of the card, okay? However it is. Oh, interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to talk about this because this is really heavy. Okay. Healer of the Ages and Contract. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't know how many of you have had any heartbreak in the last several weeks, but Spirit wants you to remember that it was all in your soul contract, their soul contract, the loss, the broken heart. Interesting. They're asking me to go into the book for the broken heart. It's number 9 in reverse. Broken heart is about grief and loss. The broken heart reversed marks a time of renewal and hope. The pain and trauma are behind you now, and you can trust that greater joy is on the way. Whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, you're now free to move on. It's also on page 29. I feel like I'm meant to say that to somebody. The universe has much better things in store for you, so finish letting go of any residual grief and open your life to your new self-loving intention. Joyous connections will follow. The affirmation is, I release the pain of the past and live with compassion for myself. Love heals and renews me now. Okay, so for those of you who really felt a connection to this, I want you to take a screenshot of that affirmation. Okay. And my eyes were drawn to the storm warning and clouds on the horizon. It says it indicates a potential difficulty either in the external world or within yourself and your emotional life. Oof, okay, the difficulty is coming closer, and you may have, hold on, already heard rumblings of potential problems around you. The caution here is to be conscious yet not fearful. Consider what's going on and look at the situation with calm clarity. Investigate your options and honor yourself and your intentions. Stand up for yourself and take action on your own behalf. As with all difficulty, even the worst storm passes. Always remember you have the power and the wisdom to handle whatever may come your way. Also, I feel like for some of you, you've been in a broken heart energy for a really long time. And don't you think it's interesting that we've got Healer of the Ages is 51, which is also number 6. Contract, we were talking about soul contracts, is number 6. And then anxiety, 1 plus 8 is 9. So we've got all these derivatives of 6 and 9. Very, very, very interesting. But also the progression of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Like to keep going. And I feel like for some of you, this 1 before 8 that keeps coming, they're saying, it's like, I feel like for some of you, this isn't going to be for everybody, but there are some of you that you're moving forward and everything's going good. And then like one person breaks your heart or disappoints you, or you feel like you disappointed them. And then it's like, you're back to this again. And you're back to the Barbie song, where you're like, like, oh gosh, like I used to float, I used to feel great, but like I suck. It's like, no, you're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're beautiful. You are a healer of the ages. If you have made it to this channel, I'm not for everybody. I'm really not. I'm just here to help you to figure out your divinity and your purpose here on earth. I'm just here to like leave the breadcrumbs for you. I'm a medium. I am multifaceted, of course. Obviously I have my other channel, Lula's Life. Sorry, it's really late. But it's interesting because I haven't done readings like this for several weeks now, like 6 weeks I think it's been. And I didn't realize, like, number one, how much it takes out of me. Number two, how much it affects me each reading. Like I had to really like smudge and like work through it. And I didn't realize how much energy I was picking up from all of us, So imagine if I'm picking this up from you guys, imagine what we pick up outside of us. We cannot live in a broken heart energy. Of course, you mourn the loss of something, but you have to let it go. You can't live with cracks and breaks in your heart. You must heal your heart fully so that you can become the healer that you were brought here to be. That's your purpose. It's in your soul contract. It is not in your soul contract to live with anxiety. It is not in your soul contract to be attached to everything and everyone. And it's going to take you a while to get out of the muggle mindset, to remember who you are. What was I made for? What were you brought here to do? I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, but I can kind of tell from the video, and just like, I can just kind of tell from the, anyway. What were you made for? Get quiet. Go to that place inside of you. Go to nature. Pull yourself away. This is no longer the time to play small. I don't know when I'm going to do these readings again. I mean, I think they're going to have me continue some things on Lula's Life. But honestly, I was really drawn to do this for you guys because the Lionsgate portal has always blessed me with so much love and grace and abundance that this was the least I could do, was come here and help you guys on this stage of your journey. And as I said in the intro to the Pick-a reading, I'm no longer going to be doing moon readings, at least not at this time. you'll see that I'm slowly making changes to my channel. I've revamped the About section, and I took off the moon phases off of my picture. Now it's just black and it says the magical medium. I love it. It's awesome. But also I'm like moving away from like things that I no longer need. Like, even though I know that she's the goddess of the moon, I was really seeing this as Sirius, and for all of us to understand like how powerful Sirius is. And I don't know if we come from there. I believe we do, or at least the energy that, we're all energy. That's what that's what this deck is. It's like we're all energy and we all affect each other. But we can no longer keep going back to these old worlds, these outdated programming. It doesn't serve us anymore. We don't need to be the martyr, the victim. It's time to, put our money where our mouth is, right? What is she there? Blind justice. Balancing the scales. Also, I think it's interesting that we're about to have the new moon in Leo. Excuse me. We're about to, go into the new moon in Leo in just a few days. And then right after that, a week after that, we'll be going into Virgo season. And right after Virgo season, we have Libra season. So I feel like a lot of us are going to have a lot more clarity. Also, when Venus, I think Venus comes out of retrograde on September 4th, and that's going to really help us a lot. Mercury will still be in retrograde. We're going to have a lot of planets going retrograde, and it's going to feel a little unbalanced and shaky for a while, but it's up to us to bring the balance into our own lives and not depend so much on the powerful, not to depend so much on the outer realms, right? We can make our own money, right? We don't need to live with a broken heart. What kind of healer are you? For some of the readings, or for the one reading, actually, the Healer of the Ages, the Broken Heart, and the Goddess of the Moon were the 3 separate readings. So whichever one you're drawn to, or maybe all 3, there may be messages in there for you. But I really believe with everything that I am, you guys, by the end of this year, and definitely by a year from today, by the end of the next Lionsgate portal, every single person who are watching these readings today, all of these different readings, we are going to be in a much more productive and financial state. I promise you. I can feel it. But you must believe in magic and miracles. That's why I urge you to go to my other channel, Lula's Life, and watch the Lionsgate portal readings for the tribes from the Galactic Council, the messages. Those messages were really, really profound. It is our energy, and we must stay in the highest vibration possible every day and learn to live. If you practice joy and harmony every day, it will come easily. Today, I was finding that my partner and I we were just kind of sparring, and I realized that I was like, wow, I was doing all this different spirit work all throughout the day. It was just so interesting. And I also was fasting, and I hadn't fasted in so long. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hangry. I'm being bratty. And it was just old programming. And I'm like, what's going on? And I'm just like, okay, you know what? It's the end of the Lionsgate portal, right? And now I'm starting to really feel like what's really happening on Earth, because I was just riding that wave. But they're trying to get us to ride the wave all the time. We can connect to this healing energy all the time. All the time. All you have to do is ask Spirit to bring it to you. You can do this. I believe in you. I promise I'll check in again. I don't know when I'll do picker readings again, but I will continue to do messages to Lula Talks and things like that on Lula's Life. This was just a rare treat for us right now. As most of you know, we're still waiting to get in our house. We're doing like a deep cleaning. We're repainting, doing all of these different things. So I'm just scattered here, there, and everywhere like the scarecrow. Anyway, I'm about to get cut off, but I really hope these messages helped you in any way. All of my information is in the About section. Take really good care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho. Bye. Love you.